Hello students, today we will talk about last application of Gauss's law for electric flux. This is last topic of the first chapter as well. So let us start. To understand today's topic thoroughly, we need to have a basic idea about what is electric flux. So I am sure all of you know that flux is a mathematical concept and it tells us how many field lines are passing perpendicularly through the surface area under consideration. And mathematically it can be expressed as dot product of electric field and area vector. And for non-uniform electric field or for uneven surface, we can express it as integration of electric field over the given surface. And for closed surface, it is expressed as closed integration of electric field over given surface area. And according to Gauss's law, flux linked with closed surface can also be found out by taking ratio of charges enclosed by the surface to permittivity of vacuum. It is scalar quantity. You can measure it in terms of Newton meter square per coulomb or voltmeter. And for today's topic, we need to recall the definition of volume charge density, which is charge per unit volume. So those things should be clear for today's topic, and of course we should be knowing what is E. E is electric field due to all the charges present when you are finding out flux, whereas if you are talking about sigma Q is the charges only inside the Gaussian surface. So whenever we use this formula, we should keep these two things in mind. So let us start with the topic. Consider a Gaussian surface. Consider a charge distribution in some sphere. Now here charges are not shown, but assume that charge is thoroughly distributed all over the volume of the sphere. So the sphere is filled up completely with the charge, and let the radius of this spherical cloud of positive charge be r. And we want to find out electric field due to this volume charge distribution. Where is the charge? Charge is completely filled inside this sphere, inside this ball of radius r, and we want to find out electric field due to this volume charge distribution. Now the point may be inside at say r distance from the center, or it is very much possible that we may need to find out electric field at some point outside the volume charge distribution. So we will find out electric field due to volume charge distribution at some point inside, and we'll also try to find out expression for electric field due to uniform volume charge distribution at some point outside the charge distribution. So first we will deal with the electric field at point inside, and then in later part of the talk we will talk about electric field outside the charge distribution. So consider a uniform spherical volume charge distribution. When you are told volume charge distribution, you should understand that charge is thoroughly filled up in this sphere and uniformly distributed. We will consider the charge density, volume charge density to be rho, that is Q by V. And where we want to find out electric field, say at this point. But how do we describe where is this point? So we say that it is at small r distance from the center. So this is the point where we want to find out electric flux due to the charges present in the sphere. So we'll be using Gauss's law for electric flux, and we'll repeat the procedure we followed in the last three topics. So first of all, we'll need to imagine a Gaussian surface. And how many things we must mention while considering Gaussian surface? Shape, size, and position. So we'll consider that our Gaussian surface is of radius r and it is spherical in shape, and we'll again put it in such a way that these two centers are coinciding. So what is my statement now? Imagine a spherical Gaussian surface of radius r and place it in such a way that its center coincides with the center of the sphere. So this is the situation, and now we will apply Gauss's law. We'll find out electric field. Let us try. So applying Gauss's law, we know that flux linked with closed surface can be given as closed integration EdA is equal to sigma q by epsilon 0. What is this dA? Area of the Gaussian surface. So while substituting value of dA, which r we should consider, small r or capital R? Capital R is radius of spherical charge distribution and small r is radius of Gaussian surface. So we'll take small r while substituting value of dA. What is sigma q? Sigma q is the charges enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So here also we will be careful. So E being constant, if we take it outside the integration, we get EdA to be 4 pi r square. Now look at this r. As I mentioned just now, r is the radius of Gaussian surface. So don't mix up between small r and capital R. It has to be radius of Gaussian surface, that is small r. What is left now? Now we have sigma q to be found out. What is sigma q? Charges enclosed by Gaussian surface. So those charges are everywhere in the sphere, but I am concerned with the charges only inside this sphere. So how do we find out charges inside this Gaussian surface? So we know that 1 cubic meter is having rho coulomb charge, then 4 by 3 pi r cube meter cube will have how much charge? Okay, so we'll apply very basic logic that 1 cubic meter includes rho coulomb, then given volume will have how much charge. So how much is the sigma q? Rho into v, but which volume? We will consider enclosed charges, so volume of the Gaussian surface we have to consider. So charges enclosed by Gaussian surface can be given as density into volume, and again notice here, if you consider capital R, what will happen? We are considering all the charges inside and outside, but according to Gauss's law we need to consider charges only inside the Gaussian surface, so be careful here. What is left now? We'll use result 3 and result 4 in equation 1 and simplify. So now we have the situation in left pan, and we have 3 equations: Gauss's law, then left side of Gauss's law we have evaluated closed integration EdA, it comes out to be E into 4 pi r square, and in the right side we know that sigma q is density into volume of Gaussian surface, because we want charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Now we'll use equation 2 and 3 in equation 1, and this is what we get. Now how many things we can cancel out? 4 pi and 4 pi, and r square and r square. 1 r will be left with on right side, and this is what we have. So now we are left with this 3, 1 r, and of course epsilon 0 with rho, and this is the electric field at r distance inside the spherical cloud of the charge. So if I take r to be 0, suppose if I am at center, how much will be the electric field? Electric field will be 0, and as I go from center to the surface, r is increasing and electric field will also be increasing. So E is directly proportional to the distance of the point from center, and it depends on the volume charge density. Now let us consider second case, where the point may be lying outside the spherical volume charge distribution. So here is the another possibility, where we have again the cloud of radius r of spherical shape, and the point where we want to find out electric field is outside the cloud. How far? So we would say that let the point be at r distance from center. and here I want to find out electric field due to this volume charge distribution. And again we'll imagine a Gaussian surface. Again we'll consider spherical Gaussian surface of radius r, and we'll say that imagine a Gaussian surface in such a way that its center coincides with the volume charge distribution as shown. So now we have our sphere and Gaussian surface, and we'll apply Gauss's law. So what is the step next? Now we will find out what is the integration E dot dA. So basically we will substitute area of Gaussian surface. So what we will have with E, being sphere, we will take area as 4 pi r square, and r should be small r. Next we will find out sigma q. So how much is the charge enclosed by our Gaussian surface? This red one is our Gaussian surface, and how much is the charge inside the Gaussian surface? So whatever is the charge in the sphere is the charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. So you can take Q, simply capital Q here you can take in our equation 1, or else we can take rho into volume charge density into volume of the sphere. So thus the total flux linked with the spherical Gaussian surface can be given as phi is equal to closed integration E dot dA, or E into 4 pi small r square. Okay, and then charges enclosed by the Gaussian surfaces can be given as density into volume, and here charge is only up to capital R distance. You don't have any charge in this region. Okay, so we consider volume up to capital R only. So density into 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. Up to that volume we have charges. So with equation 1, 2 and 5 we should be able to find out electric field. So here is our equation 1, equation 2 and equation 5. Okay, so substitute 2 and 5 in 1. So this is what we have. Now what is done here? So we know that density, volume charge density is charge per unit volume. Now here, which volume we are talking about? We are talking about volume of the spherical charge distribution. So 4 by 3 pi capital R cube is the volume. So if you take this V on left side, you will have Q. That is what we have done here, because whatever charge you have, it is enclosed by Gaussian surface. So you can simply write Q here, and then look at the result. What we are getting? We are getting 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R square. Isn't it familiar formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is K, and then E is nothing but KQ by R square, which is very similar to formula of point charge. So once again, the way shell behaves like point charge for any point outside the shell, sphere volume charge distribution also behaves like point charge when you are talking about electric field at some point outside. So that is similarity between the two. And equation 6 is the formula we are looking for. It is formula of electric field at some point outside the spherical volume charge distribution. And what is the direction of the electric field? It will be along the radius. So let us compare these two now. So left side we are talking about electric field at some point inside the volume charge distribution, whereas right side we are talking about electric field at some point outside. Left side, the point is here where we want to find out electric field, and in the right side figure the point where we want to find out electric field is outside the volume charge distribution. So how did we derive electric field at some point inside the volume charge distribution? So let us have a quick look at the equations. We are counting on mainly these three equations. So this is what we got, 1 by 3 rho r epsilon 0 in denominator, and that is the electric field inside, at some point inside the volume charge distribution. And what we did to get the electric field at some point outside, this is what we did. Now I want you to compare the equation 1 with equation 1, equation 3 with equation 3. Look at the difference. In first equation we have r square same because we are talking about area of Gaussian surface, whereas in third equation we are talking about the charge distribution, and so we should consider up to which point we have charges. So here we consider charge only up to distance r. This is the case where we have small r less than capital R. So whatever is the charge present in the situation is fully not enclosed by Gaussian surface, whereas in right side our point is outside, so small r is greater than capital R, and so it is enclosing all the charges present in the spherical cloud. So don't forget the difference between equation 3 and equation 5. Steps are similar, but there are some changes in the value, and because of 3 and 5, because of the difference between 3 and 5, look at the consequences. Look at the end result of electric field inside and outside. Okay, fourth equation suggests that electric field is directly proportional to the distance from center, whereas last result 6 suggests that electric field is directly proportional to 1 by r square when you are at some point outside. So that is the basic difference, and that was the topic. Let us conclude now. Thus, in conclusion, we can say that when we are talking about uniform spherical volume charge distribution, if we want electric field at some point inside the spherical volume charge distribution, it can be given as 1 by 3 rho into r by epsilon 0. What is r there? So small r is the distance of the point where we want electric field, distance measured from center. So according to this formula, E is directly proportional to r, that is the distance from center, and rho is volume charge density. If you are talking about electric field at some point outside the spherical volume charge distribution, then the formula is kq by r square. So in that case we can see that E is very similar to that of point charge, and electric field is directly proportional to 1 upon distance square. So what is rho here? Rho is the volume charge density, and what is capital R? Capital R is the radius of volume charge distribution, and small r is the distance of the point from center. So this is a very special feature, and it is very similar to that of shell. In case of shell also, we saw that when you are at some point outside the shell, at that time shell behaves like point charge, and that is true with the volume charge distribution also. And now if we plot graph of electric field versus distance, what should be the nature? So this part suggests that initially as we increase r, at center electric field should be 0, and as you increase r, E is directly proportional to r, so E should be increasing steadily, and then E falls as 1 by r square. So this is the sphere, and we'll plot from center. So at center electric field is 0. At center, when your electric field is 0, as you go away from center, what should happen to the electric field? In case of shell, it was like this. So if we recall the last topic, we know that for shell, electric field was 0. Electric field was 0 up to the surface, and then electric field falls as 1 by r square. Now outside still we have the same nature, but in case of shell we had discontinuity here. Inside electric field is 0, outside it suddenly goes from high value to low value. So there was sharp discontinuity in electric field in case of shell, which is not the case here. So now see what happens as we go away from center. See, we are going away from center and electric field is increasing steadily according to this equation, E proportional to R. And what will happen as we go away now? We are at R is equal to R, distance from center is equal to radius of the sphere, and now as I go away from the sphere, electric field is reduced as 1 by r square. So this is similarity between shell and sphere, but inside electric field is 0 for shell, which is not the case for sphere. That is the difference. So that was the topic, and with that we conclude the topic and chapter both. Thank you.